One will number the. All right, welcome to the library board meeting. It's Thursday, December 12th, 2024. It's 4 p.m. We're in the City Hall Council chambers, and we have a quorum, and we're ready to proceed. So the first item would be the approval of the agenda, which we got by email. Do I have a motion on that?
I'll move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the agenda. Any comments on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We have an agenda. And next we move on to the minutes of last month's meeting, November 14th. Again, we've had a chance to review those. Does anyone have any additions or corrections or clarifications? If not, I'll take a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We've got minutes. And now on to the financial report for November 2024.
We are 92.35% through 2024, and our budget is approximately 91.96% expended.
That's pretty close.
Bills paid during November included $110 to Batteries Plus for door counters for batteries. We usually replace those once a year. $1,605 to EBSCO for our annual magazine subscriptions. $105 to Metro Sales for the service desk's printer contract. $106 to Riverview Sanitation for our monthly trash service. $457 to Hilton Minneapolis for my stay during the Core Forum conference there. And then we also purchased an additional Nintendo Switch for and accessories for $828 to support our teen and now our new junior video gaming clubs. And I just will make a couple notes here on some of these expenses. The EBSCO magazines purchase does mean that our subscription and subscriptions and memberships line right now is currently overspent at 122%, but that expense will be prorated for next year. Most of those subscriptions will continue through the bulk of 2025, and so finance will do that when they do their end of the year processing. The Friends original donation of $3,000 for the video game club is now spent. We just have $1.04 remaining there. So we made good use of that. Our budget, although it is recorded as 91.96% expended, we had some expenditures that were slated from the library's fund balance this year. And so when you take those into account, which includes our water fountain replacement, the panic button work, and the Mellon Foundation expenses that we've had for that grant, we're actually looking at about 86.84% expended.
Does anyone have any questions of April or any comments about the financial report?
Just a question, comment. I heard one line item was printing and something materials, and it was at 43% spent, well, a little bit under half. What would account for that line item not being closer to 100%?
Printing and advertising and promo, that includes things like if we buy branded pens or things to give away. And we did not make any of those purchases this year because we had leftovers from what we had purchased last year that we haven't used up. And it also includes things like ads for when we are hiring.
Okay.
So sometimes that's a little bit harder to plan for.
Sure.
So we're just not as spent on that line right now.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I did want to add one final note. We did receive a quote from Fairmont Glass for replacing the library doors. That work is actually will come from the city's 290 building fund. So the building official is going to present that at next Tuesday's city council meeting for city council approval for that expenditure. We are asking that work include the addition of electric strikes, both on the book drop door, which is the one that needs to be replaced, and also on the hallway entrance that's also on that side of the building, so that we can update those entrances to key fob access. So we will have electrical work that would need to come from the library's budget or reserve fund. And so once the door work is confirmed with Fairmont Glass, we're working on also getting quotes for that electrical work to install that capability there. So that's something you'll see in a future month.
Okay. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll move on to the Department Activities Report and the statistics for November.
Okay. We have a new library aide, Nicole Sowers, joined our team this week. We're still in process for making an offer on the second position. We had made another offer at the time that Nicole accepted, but that person had to decline. So we're still waiting to hear back from the next person we've offered to. The Friends of the Library held their annual used book sale on November 7th through 9th, and they raised $1,998 through book sales, donations, and membership renewals. And I just want to say a big thank you to the Friends of the Library members and all of those who volunteered at the sale. That's a lot of work to put up, sort all of those books, and run the sale and then take down afterwards. So just thank you to them for their support of their library through the funding they donate to the library, but also the time and effort they put into the book sale. Our Youth Services librarian hosted a series of visits from students at Riverbend Area Learning Center. 28 students toured the library and learned all about our digital resources that we have to offer. And we regularly see students from Riverbend visiting the library with their instructors. She also began outreach to Alyssa's daycare at Westridge Place, and she's working on including more daycares so that we can make more visits to Westridge Place. And one of our regular Pathfinder players graciously donated the funds to purchase a year subscription to Roll20, which is an online tool that our Programming and Technology Services librarian uses to facilitate the online game sessions for Pathfinder. So that subscription allows us to get rid of ads when we use that tool and then have more storage space for the games that we're hosting
And
through
what
the
is
library.
Pathfinder? I apologize.
It's a role-playing game. It's when you think kind of Dungeons and Dragons, it's a kind of a version of something like that.
Okay.
And then I was able to attend the American Library Association's Core Forum Conference, which was held in Minneapolis in the middle of November. And the conference focused on library leadership, infrastructure, and kind of future trends in libraries. So I focused my sessions on evaluating services, building design, employee coaching, and more. So I was very glad for the opportunity to attend that conference.
Okay.
And then I just wanted to point out a couple statistics. Our Junior Video Gaming Club had their first meeting in November, and they had 19 attendees, so we are off with a bang. And then our collection development staff are continuing to work on weeding our nonfiction collections to make room for new items that we're purchasing with the grant funds that TDS made available to libraries. So the staff members weeded a total of 352 items in November to help make some space for new.
Great. Any comments or questions?
The Frank Weber presentation was really enjoyable, even though it was, murder mysteries. But he did. He was entertaining, so that was enjoyable.
Anyone else? People love the library. Great. Okay, on to December. What's on tap for the rest of December?
So we have a special story time with an author visit from Courtney Hansen. That'll be Monday, December 30th at 10 a.m. in our children's room. And she's going to share her new book, My Dad Hung the Moon, and talk a little bit about her writing of the book. And then we're excited to try a Noon Year's Eve celebration on December 31st. So that's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Civic Center. And we're partnering with Park and Recreation to offer the event. And we are grateful to the Optimist Club of New Ulm for sponsoring.
New Year's Eve. Oh, come on. What are you going to be doing on New Year's Eve?
So we'll be doing open skate, crafts, a photo booth, refreshments, and then we'll do a countdown to noon.
Oh,
So if you can't make it till midnight, this is your event.
More my speed.
great. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, right. Great, great. Okay, moving on to the Brown County Library Board update.
So the Brown County Library Board met on Monday, November 18th at New Ulm Public Library. And we received the second half of our 2024 county funds. So that was a check for the amount of $9,175.30. So that's the end of the funds we'll receive for this year. I was not able to attend the meeting, but Megan attended on my behalf, and Yvonne was there as well. The members discussed their next meeting location. There were brief updates from each library. And then they also discussed board membership and roles, since there is a number of new members in new roles on the board currently. Yvonne, I didn't know if you had anything else you wanted to add to that update.
No, I think you've covered it. It was a fairly brief meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have two resolutions, our last two resolutions of the year. We'll move on to those. Resolution number 2024-36, approving the meeting room use policy. The library director recommends that the library board adopt the attached draft meeting room policy, use policy with an effective date of January 1st, 2025. The existing policy was last updated in 2020. The library director has rewritten the policy to be current with the 2025 fee schedule, as approved by the library board on October 10th, 2024. The 2025 fee schedule eliminates rental fees for the library's meeting room, and the draft policy, which we're going to be voting on, reflects that change. And the draft policy also sets limits on the types and number of meetings that can be held in the meeting room. This change is intended to ensure that the meeting room is used for purposes relevant to the library's mission and is available to a wide variety of patrons and groups. Both the existing and draft meeting room use policies are attached, and the city attorney reviewed both policies and suggested changes to language throughout, which the library director has incorporated into the draft policy. Now, this is the second reading. We went over this a little bit last meeting, but I don't plan to read all those policies, but with any, they're available on the website, and they're also available at the library if anyone has any questions about that. But the big thing is there's no more fee for the meeting rooms.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments?
I have a comment, and I think I may know the answer, but April, for those folks who don't either watch this meeting or read our agendas and attached notes, is there going to be some kind of a notice on the website that this policy has changed so folks can look at it if they're...
Yes, at our last board meeting, you asked a similar question, specifically about when a policy is retired as well, what notice needs to be given. And I checked in with the city manager, and the public notice is in the packet, basically. But because the meeting room policy is kind of it's an update to policy, and that would affect those who, with the retirement of the policy, there's less of an effect because those items are just moving into our library of things. But with this policy, we'll probably put kind of a brief description of the updates on the news flash section of the website for a month or two to note the changes. And then, like Ruth Ann said, it's available at the library. And then we are planning to put all of our policies on our website as well. They're not currently there, but.
Good, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Otherwise, I'll take a motion to pass this resolution.
So move.
And a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Otherwise, Secretary, please call the roll.
Sarah,
Yes.
Dustin, yes. Ruth Ann,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes.
Menon,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Carl.
Yes.
Okay, I'm working to open my resolution here. Come on. Oh dear. Okay. I'll take, you've got yours?
Yep.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh, that would be easier,
Oh,
wouldn't
this
it?
is, oh, this is easy. This is easy. This is resolution number 2024-37, retiring the equipment use policy. And again, this is the second reading and adoption. The library director recommends that the library board retire the attached equipment use policy effective January 1st, 2025. The library board approved the 2025 fee schedule at its October 10th, 2024 meeting, and the 2025 fee schedule eliminates rental fees for equipment. If the equipment use policy is required, equipment will be governed by the Library of Things policy and circulated as things starting in January 1st, 2025. Outdated equipment will be weeded in accordance with the library's collection development policy. Okay? Any questions or comments about that?
I can just clarify, since that's kind of a library jargon term.
Good.
Weeding is the process of when we evaluate items for how much they're being used, are they in good shape, are they relevant, is the information contained within the item good information any longer, is it accurate? And so the equipment that we would be weeding would be outdated technology.
Right. Okay. Okay. And we've got a policy on that, so.
Yes.
All right. Any other questions or comments after that clarification? If not, I will take a motion to accept this resolution to retire the equipment use policy.
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, Secretary, please call the roll.
Sarah, yes. Dustin, yes. Ruth Ann,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes.
Menon,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Hope,
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any other business to come before this board?
I just want to recognize our outgoing members. Vince Bourgo and Carl Zeidler have both served on the library board for, Carl has served 2 full terms now, and Vince has served 3. So I want to just thank them both for their time on the library board and all of the insight and questions and guidance that they've offered to this group and to the library. Thank you.
Well, they will both be missed. Both Carl and Vince can be counted on to get into the weeds and ask the questions that might have sort of floated through the rest of us. But no, you will be missed, and thank you very much, Carl. And Vince stopped by earlier to say his goodbyes and thank yous. And so, should we give everybody a hand?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Carl.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. It's been a
any
joy and
other-
pleasure to work with all of the board members over the years, and I'm certainly leaving this board and the library in terrific hands. They've got very terrific staff engaged in promoting the library services to the community, and keep up the great work. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn? All right. Are we done? We're done. All right. Goodbye.